Tiago, welcome to the conference. It's amazing having you here as one of our speakers. So you led quite an astonishing career. You were resident AI lead architect at Microsoft while also being guest lecturer at the University of Barcelona and EA Business School. Now you're working as head of AI technology practice at Google Cloud. So could you explain a bit more your career path and what inspired you to follow it?
Sure, thank you. Pleasure to be here with you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm enjoying a lot the conference. So I think if we go a little bit back in my career, when I was studying computer science, quite early, I started to try to play, of course, hands-on with code technology. And I managed even to work with some companies like advertising, large-scale websites. So that really get me excited with, let's say, online technology that needs to scale out. Then over time I became an IT project manager. That gave me a little bit an overview what technology as going into production requires. Then I started to get closer to data. That was a big area of interest of me that over time I really understand it's a passion. So working in a startup called Bestiario that was creating a very custom-made interactive data visualization solution. And at that time, I really started to get exposed to the early days of public cloud computing. And that's for sure one thing that really got me very passionate because as a technical person, having the capability to use technology, spinning up new services on demand, scaling infrastructure, and also leverage a lot of data was quite good in the context of data visualization. Then I really had the opportunity to work for Amazon Web Services, once more in the very early days of what is public cloud computing today. There I was a technical architect working with different sizes of companies and building architectures for different use cases. But at that time, I really understood the value of data. Of course, big data was starting to get popular. And I really started to specialize quite deep on that space across big data and, of course, predictive analytics. After that, it was quite an interesting experience. I managed to become a CTO of a system integrator. So once more, keeping the hands-on on taking systems into production in the cloud. And after that, I got invited to join Microsoft for 7 years, where I was part of a technical team, where I was leading a side of it that was focusing on AI machine learning workloads on top of the public cloud, very specialized and very interesting. And 1 year ago, I had the pleasure to join Google. I always said if I work for a company, it would be Google because of the leadership position on AI. And here I am enjoying and keen to talk more about that tomorrow.
Considering you were both in academia and the industry, is it challenging to work in the industry in a company such as Google? As you said, that's really at the forefront of this field, and also to work as a professor. Why do you think it's important to be also in academia if you have a job at a good company?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. First and foremost, I would say I'm very lucky and glad to have a job that I really love, and that really helps. So getting up every day with something that you enjoy to do and with an amazing team, that's really make things easier. Being said that, AI machine learning, as you are aware, it's a pretty big moving area. So you really need always to be on top, constantly challenging, know what is changing, look at the new technology, play with it. So definitely that's part of the day-to-day. In my personal view and experience, it's quite important also to be connected with the academy. And since early days, I got invited to work with different universities, mostly in a format to give master classes, to teach what's next, some trends and so on. But these two ways, I think it's important for me to still be connected with the academy. First one is, of course, on more research level. In that space, you know what's the latest coming up, what's the research that's going to come, of course, into the industry. In that side, for example, Google is publishing more than 1,600 papers every year. 200 of them are on research AI, so that's a pretty important space. And second is really about when you interact with students in post degrees that are really getting specialized in data and AI. It's where we really have the opportunity to share your knowledge, your experience, but also help them to shape their career and be prepared to be part of the industry. And that's really something I'm quite passionate to share that knowledge with young students.
It's quite inspiring, definitely. And going a bit more in your career at Google, so the team you're currently leading has a mission to support the adoption of different AI and ML algorithms for Google Cloud. So could you elaborate a bit more on that?
Yeah, for sure. So the team that I lead at Google is a highly specialized technical team. So we are all very hands-on, playing with the latest services. But if you look at Google, cloud platform. Of course, from AI machine learning perspective, there is a quite broad and rich portfolio of different AI and machine learning solutions. And our mission is really to get them adopted by a different set of customers and partners. So I'm talking about from very large enterprises to, of course, startups, digital natives that also need to be quite agile and have quite time to value with those solutions. So our job is really sitting with customers, get them exposed to the technology, let them to run POCs, but also get very early view what's coming next down the road in 6 months together with our engineering teams. So we can also get customers early exposed to that and also get their feedback, because it's quite iterative loop. You get feedback, you improve the products, and you deliver that at more scale for virtually any kind of customer.
And going a bit on the product, your talk here gives, your talk at the conference gives an overview of the latest platform capabilities for data science and machine learning on the Google Cloud platform. So could you talk a bit more about these capabilities?
Sure, I'll do my best to summarize my session from tomorrow in a few minutes. So I'll be talking mostly about Vertex AI. That's the primary service for AI machine learning on top of Google Cloud Platform. That's been a massive area of investment. Like I said, we want to make data science and machine learning for any kind of organization more easy and accessible at scale. Of course, keeping in mind responsible AI, security, that's what our customers have also as top priority. So in that space, I think there's 4 areas that we are growing the platform in making a lot of investments. First one is really about the integration or unified data platform where data and AI comes together from an end user perspective. So really not just sitting on the machine learning side, but of course really integrate with all the data solutions, BigQuery, being able to run machine learning models on the data warehouse itself, ingesting data easily with all the services. That's a quite important part, that we have a unified experience, either for more business users or for professional data scientists. The second area is really around what is so-called these days the MLOps, which is really about automating and taking models into production in a easy and automated manner. And in that space, we have a lot of things that we've been adding, such as model registry, model monitoring, but also the deployment that to be automated in detecting, for example, if the model is decaying in performance, being able to detect that. Another area that is quite required by many customers who are mature in the data science is around feature store. So basically, you are able to have a central register of the features, transform them in persist so they can be reused by your organization, but also other data science processes. A third area is around AI infrastructure. So when you're training models at large scale, such as large language models, you really need a scalable infrastructure. So having GPUs and specific TPU capacity to accelerate those workloads is quite important.
Yeah. More detail will be during your talk tomorrow, and I'm sure people will enjoy it quite a bit. To end the interview, could you give us your opinion on why is it important for people that are in lead positions at large-scale corporations and other types and in other companies to tap these kinds of events like the conference, and what can you get from participating in them?
Yes, for sure. Once more, it's a pleasure to be here with you. I'm really enjoying the conference and the sessions I attended this morning. I mean, in the technical leadership, I think is really important to be always looking what's happening in industry, and I think this kind of conference really bring that. But I think also it's about getting more exposed, right? It's not just sitting with your teams, your customers. That's already quite exciting. But really exposed to see what others are doing, and especially how they are doing. And this kind of conference really gets to this kind of technical level. You can hear. I was hearing before. Someone talking about TabNet. That's also one of the algorithms that we are also incentivizing. So it's really good to see this used in the real world and what worked for them and what didn't work. So that in a nutshell, that's why I think it's so important. Secondly, I think it's really about community. We are quite big and diverse community. So these kind of events is where we can have the AI community together. And of course, it's a unique opportunity to network and to share also knowledge more informally and together.
Yeah. Thank you for the interview, and do hope you enjoy your time here at the conference and in Belgrade. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My pleasure as well. Welcome to Data Science Conference Europe. My name is Tiago Henriques. I'm the head of AI machine learning at Google Cloud in EMEA. And let's change the world through data.